Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Gabby, and what are we going to talk about today? Today's topic is going to be animal adoption and how I see this as being one mechanism or one tool that people can use to create and generate more societal good. I know the term adopt, don't shop. That is a very popular hashtag and phrase that I hear on social media, but I don't know how I feel about that term because it does have kind of a judgmental connotation to it. And using this platform, I never want to come across as judgmental because I understand that everyone is in different places in their lives. About a year ago, I was going through a whole lot because my stepdad, who basically raised me, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. And this was a big shock in my family. It was something we did not expect. Things went downhill pretty quickly from there. I would visit home and I would see him slowly deteriorating. I was going through a really dark time and I needed comfort, something that I could pour love into that would help me to, for just a small moment, forget about my own struggles and to focus on someone or something else. So that is what caused me to adopt my cat Sterling. I adopted him February of last year, and the reason I'm doing this video is because it is the 1-year anniversary of me adopting my cat. Originally, I wanted a purebred ragdoll, so I was reaching out to all of these breeders and asking about the cost and when they were going to have their next litter, and I was totally on board for doing that. I was just having a hard time connecting with the breeders, and it was so much competition and the animals were so expensive. So I did a bit of research on adopting an animal from an animal shelter, and I started to learn about the pros of doing that and the fact that such a large percentage of animals in an animal shelter actually end up being euthanized because there's not enough people interested in adopting cats as there are cats out there who need a home. When I started to learn about that, it made me think about, why do I want to adopt a cat from a breeder when there's already so many cats, like an overabundant amount of cats out here who are looking for a home. 8 to 12 million dogs, cats, puppies, and kittens are euthanized simply because there are not enough homes for them. And I know one reason people may want to buy a cat from a breeder is because they want a small cat and they want to raise the cat up from a small kitten. There tends to be more adult cats in the shelters even though there are also a lot of kittens in the shelter too. You just may have to do a little bit more research. But that may be one reason people choose to go through a breeder. But after kind of doing a research and thinking about my specific lifestyle, I started to realize that, I'm really busy. I work a typical 9-to-5 job. I'm not going to be home a lot, and I just don't have the time to dedicate towards raising a kitten from scratch, teaching them how to not scratch on furniture, teaching them how to use the litter and, all this stuff. And kittens also just need more attention. So then I started to tell myself, actually, it may be better for my lifestyle to get an adult cat. And once I kind of came up with that, I thought even more so that it would be better for me to adopt a cat from a shelter. And another reason people may choose to go through a breeder is because they have a specific cat in mind that they want, or maybe a specific breed or a specific look. But if you go to petfinders.com, and I'm not sponsored, I should be sponsored. I wish I was sponsored, but petfinder.com. So it's not Pet Finders, like I said before, no S. I've told so many friends about this site, you guys. It's a great way to find a cat or a dog that matches the exact look, age, size, breed, color even that you're looking for. As I mentioned before, I wanted to adopt a ragdoll cat. And the reason being is because I like the long hair look of a cat. So I actually went to petfinder.com and I put in that I wanted a young adult, because you can specify between an adult and a young adult. I mentioned that I wanted it to be a long-haired cat. And from the different profiles, you can actually see the temperament of the cat that you're looking at. So it'll explain if the cat is shy, if the cat is playful, if it's a lap cat. I was able to choose a cat that was cuddly and interested in people because that's the type of cat that I wanted. A lot of you probably have seen my cat in prior videos, but I'm gonna go and get him now so I can show you him up close and personal. His name is Sterling because he's a sterling silver color, so I'll be right back. I hope you guys can see because it's kind of shiny, it's kind of sunny, but this is him. He is a silver and white color. He has green eyes and he's just so cute. I love him a lot. And he does kind of remind me of that ragdoll type aesthetic. And another positive about having a cat from a shelter is that they're actually much more affordable. And he definitely comes with his issues, which is something you need to be aware of when you are adopting from a shelter. You really just don't know their history or their health background. But honestly, this is the same as well. I've done research and I found that people who adopted from breeders, they also may have found later that their cats had some type of sickness that wasn't reported. But I think this is probably more of a problem when you are adopting from a shelter, just because you really just don't have any history about the cat oftentimes. Okay, so as you can see, he has on this jacket. It's because he has anxiety issues. And this is something this is something I was not aware of when I first adopted him. Because you just don't know everything about the pet before you adopt them. But he has tendencies to actually bite his fur and chew into his fur, causing red marks or hot spots that basically leads to marks on his fur that can become infected. And this was a problem that I was dealing with for a good amount of time when I first adopted him, trying to figure out the solutions. He was wearing a cone for a while. That didn't really work because the cone would get really messy when he used the bathroom. I would use different deterrent sprays so he would not want to lick himself anymore. That didn't work. It seemed like he liked that. Yeah, it was quite a journey finding a solution to this problem, but I actually started to put on a jacket. It's called a thunder shirt. I started to put that on him and that actually gave him some comfort. It's like a weighted jacket, so it gives him comfort and anxiety relief, and it also covers the spots that he used to aggressively lick and create holes in. So that's been the solution that I've been using with him. It's been really good, and he has one small little spot that he's been working at, but for the most part he's much better. He used to have a spot that was like 4 inches and it was red and inflamed and just really gross. But that's healed. And also he had some UTI issues when I first adopted him too, and he had to get 2 cycles of antibiotics before that problem got under control. And also one reason his doctor said he had it is because he was not taking in enough water, so that caused him to have an irritable urinary tract. So now to make sure he drinks enough water, I mix soft food, hard food, and I put water in that, so it's kind of like a soup. And by doing that, he actually does drink all of the water that I put in his bowl because it's flavored with his food. So he doesn't have any UTI issues anymore, thankfully. But you may find that your adopted cat has some issues that you weren't prepared for, or you may find that your cat is totally healthy and they don't have any issues at all. It just kind of depends. Even with all of those issues, I am definitely still happy that I adopted him. He's led to so much joy in my life. He helps me when I'm feeling down, and he's just a pal that's always there for me. And as a social worker and someone who works in a field that can come with certain challenges or stressors, having an animal has just been really, really great for me. And I really do look at this as being a part of minding my society, because it's giving back to another being. I talk about this all the time with my boyfriend, but the fact that if I didn't adopt him, he could be dead right now. He could have gotten euthanized a long, long time ago. So I see this as being one part of just giving back to your society. I just wanted to make this video to encourage anyone who's thinking about adopting a cat or a dog to do a bit more research on adopting from your local shelter. I think it's a great way to give back and a great way to help another being in need that is related to what my name is all about, which is Mind Your Society. I want to kind of explain what my name means for some people who may just see it as a mix of words but not really having much of a meaning. I really did try to put a lot of thought behind that name when I came up with it, because I wanted it to be something that represented me and something that represented my channel. I am a social worker by trade, and I also specifically work in the macro social work space. But in general, to me, the reason I got into social work is because I wanted to look at, society as a whole. So of course, since I'm a social worker and I work with people, that is first and foremost most important to me. But in 2020 and beyond, I also want to be more aware of and learn ways I can help to better society and lessen my footprint as a whole. So not just working with people and mankind, but just, thinking about our environment. How can I be eco-conscious? How can I be cautious when it comes to what I eat and just the decisions that I make in my life? How can I make sure that my decision, as best as possible, is positively impacting the environment instead of taking steps that are detrimental to our environment? And let me actually show you the book that really gave me the stamina and motivation that I needed to consider that this is something that I want to be a future goal of mine. So that book is, oh gosh, please don't fall, please don't fall. This is like holding up a bunch of other books, so I'm praying. I think we're good, you guys. So that is this Sapiens book right here, A Brief History of Humankind. So anyways, it was definitely a game changer for me, but I've always been interested in this type of information. So it's not something that's like super new as a concept, but this really did solidify things for me. So anyways, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. Mind Your Society. I wanted this name to really encompass what my overall, mission was. I grew up really seeing a lot of the negatives about society. I grew up in the inner city, in an urban area, and it had a lot of, bad crap going on. We had like environmental pollution and inequality, classism, racism, blah, blah, blah. So I seen it all growing up, and choosing social work as a career path, specifically macro social work, was my way of trying to grab the bull by the horn and make any type of changes that I could on a personal level. Yeah, in 2020, I really do want to just be more conscious about my ecological footprint as a whole. And another reason I chose that name is because I am a social worker who also has an interest in business, and I think having a business mindset is very, very important. If people with my background have money, they are going to be more responsible with what they do with that money than someone who does not have that type of background. That's one of the core reasons I push for social workers gaining and earning more money, because I really want money to be in the hands of those who have societal good in mind. I work in corporate social responsibility, so I'm really interested in the intersection between business and social good. We've all heard the term mind your business. So saying mind your society was kind of taking like half of the business term of like mind your business and then ending it with society. So it's kind of like merging the two, so merging business and society. I understand that it is a privilege to even have the mind space to dedicate to trying to recycle and be sustainable and to take all these steps, right? If you are struggling with figuring out where your next dollar is going to come from, or how you're going to afford healthcare so you can get this treatment that you so desperately need, you just may not have the mind space to do that, and that's totally fine. So I'm not saying that everyone in the world needs to 100% invest in making societal changes in the way that I'm talking about. And also, I'm never gonna be perfect. I'm never gonna recycle everything that I have. I'm never gonna get rid of all plastic in my life. And I don't have these very radical goals in mind. But I think as long as I'm trying to make sure that a large percentage of my life is taking steps towards societal good, I think that's good enough. And I think as long as you are challenging yourself to do as good as you can, to me, that is good enough. I am not an extremist. So anyway, so back to the whole adopt, don't shop thing. So yeah, this is it for this video. I do want to do a series about different ways I am working on minding my society, including just, working in social work. What other ways am I trying to add to society or benefit society? Please leave in the comment section below something that you have been doing or actively working on as a way to benefit society. And also make sure to follow my Instagram page, which is also Mind Your Society. And Sterling. That's it for this video. And on that note, Sterling and I are gonna go chill out. And he is not into this video anymore, you guys. So I am going to leave you guys on that. Thank you and talk to you guys later.